and the prices drops, for example, or gets any kind of fluctuation, it will impact that price. So we will not be able to change it. So that is that is a concern. So Julian has asked me to request the influencers to change the coin that they would be receiving to ETH, but obviously for same reasons, like for them, they are also requesting the payment to be on USDC, which is completely understandable, and also because they would be like impacted by a double tax that they would need to pay because of gains and these changes on the US regulation. So we are discussing on the Council of Stewards some actions to be taken so we can move forward and we don't have to be in this position again and again. So I think hopefully we will be able to sort this out between these next days and have the transaction withdraw from the treasury to the multi-sig and then do the swap on the multi-sig. So then we don't have to do this by smart contract. But obviously we will still be impacted a little bit on that because of the times when all the signers will sign the transaction. Hopefully it will not be as much as it would be by doing it as a proposal on directly from the treasury. So that's something. Maybe Stella, do you have something to share about that or comments or anything?
No, I mean, I think because it's not a fully automated process, Julian will not adore that idea, let's just say. But I think for what we're trying to do, it's still safe enough. We have 3 out of 5 signers that need to sign, or 6 signers, should I say now. So, yeah, I think we just should make sure that we're confirming the base account, just to make sure everything is placed. So maybe you, Blakehart, and Andrew and me can get on a call, I want to say Thursday, someone, probably like midday, early, like, I don't know. We have to talk. I don't know. But point is, we have to be really comfortable about this, right? Because if we fuck stuff up, then that money is gone. So that's the only part, right, that I'm a bit wary of. But I think we've done it before. It takes some time to go through, but it always went through fine. So I think it's a valid process. It's not perfect, but it still works and it's still somewhat safe. So it's okay.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, I think also Julian will need to understand that because this will also happen for Scout Game once we settle things. So we need to take measures for that too. So yeah. Okay, so moving on. Again, we are still pending for this influencer campaign, micro influencer campaign. I have been trying to write like a short doc to have like things clear. I'm a little bit late on that, so that's on me. But I am willing to have this clear for today so I can share it with Soho and Stella. And so we can have like already a working doc to have our range fixed and clear, so we can just start reaching out to micro influencers. So yeah, I'm really sorry about that, Soho. It's a shame on me because I have been like very distracted with many things. And yeah, but it's today. I am I am doing it today, so please have some patience with me. Yeah. Then let me get this. Yeah, let's talk about the Scout Game campaign update. Um, Yesterday I was checking out the repo on GitHub, and just trying to make sure that we can like get it started, and maybe then still posting like some other issues that we may tag them as bounties. But I'm a little bit concerned because I have found like two or three that are like pending on replies from Julian since April. So that's something that, yeah. Yeah, Stella, please go ahead.
Yeah, so as I told you guys last week, I'm gonna add the GitHub, all the stuff that was sent through the form. I will start adding this at the end of this week to the GitHub. So that's definitely give us some more juice. Um, I also think that would you be able to send me the links to those issues you found? Because I have a feeling I know what is the context of them. But if you still have them up, please send the links to me so I can
Mhm.
confirm with Julian that he cleans those out as well. Um, but yeah,
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah, sure. Okay. I will share you the ones that I have found that already have some like PRs and waiting on replies. Yeah, so Julian can check them out. Maybe he hasn't reviewed. Mm-hmm. Okay, so next, content calendar. Yay. This is a good one. Gosman, thank you. He has worked on a content calendar. Let me show you so you can check it out. Just a moment. Where is this? This. Okay, so Gosman has worked on this content calendar. It's like organized for a weekly basis. So every week would be like a topic, and that could be covered on different levels on every social media. That's his proposal, which I find it really nice. Obviously, we need to be clear, like what could be the time frames for some of the social media that are here, like Paragraph and maybe LinkedIn. But as for X and Farcaster, I find it like they can really work. Here is not showing TikTok, and that could be also something that we can discuss. Because as you can see, for example, this proposal would be for the first week to talk about on-chain memberships. So then a post on X would be for this, and on Forecaster like this. So in the case of TikTok, would be nice to have like short videos to show, okay, let's create our first membership, and like a short tutorial on how to do that. That could be a thing. But I would like your opinions, your feedback. How do you feel about this? I think this is a great proposal, and we could use it. In fact, Gossman has offered it for anyone and any contributor to start using the topics that he has already developed on any of these weeks. There are many other topics, including including the DGolf app, and also some a little bit more technical things. And I think it's a really nice resource that we could use. But I really would like to listen your feedback, so then we can get it like async and also have it as a resource to work with. And if not, yeah, it's still an inspirational resource. So any of the contributors that can go and check. Okay, let's work on this, and they can post and they can share also as a contribution on Chambers the topic that they would be uh, using. Yes, thank you, Will. Yeah, I know, I know. Yeah, so yeah, melding. Um, nice, nice. Will is in favor. Anybody else does have any other? Yes, please, Estela. Go ahead.
I think these theme proposals are a good idea, especially because they're kind of like evergreens for us, right? Like we can talk basically every 3 weeks once about memberships on chain without boring anyone. We just have to find a different twist of talking about it. But I think what we really need is a lot of repetition to hammer certain things into people's brains. And my friend here that I'm visiting, he actually works really closely with Friends with Benefits. And maybe if, luck streams into that direction, we will have a direct contact, because earlier this year they reached out to us wanting to try and work with us, but then I don't know what happened. They just didn't reply anymore. And so this is reinitiating this idea with Friends with Benefits. But also, he gave some feedback on how we are talking about the protocol. And I thought, sadly, he was absolutely right, scolding us. So in our Discord, we used to say Unlock Protocol is an open source, a peer-governed open source protocol that allows users to create membership certifications and event tickets on chain. And then it said something else very technical. And he was like, what the F are you doing to people here? He's like, no one gives a hell if this is free or open source. You should know that by now. Look at all the people that pay for subscriptions and happily do it. Actually, he feels on the contrary, if we make it a point that this is free, less people probably want to use it because it looks less desirable. And, even though I come from design, I was totally blindsided by this because I'm too deep in, right? But he is right. So I changed the text to the following with his approval and his non-techie wife's approval. I changed it to Unlock Protocol as an easy-to-use, code-free technology that enables the creation of membership certifications and event ticketing on-chain. And I'm sure we could make it even better than that. But we really need to start thinking less technical. I know that, because it's a very technical project, and until now, it had a very technical founder, right? So we automatically kind of fell into that trap of, oh, this is a technical project. No, it's not. It's freaking easy to use. And Jonathan, I'm putting you a little bit out there today. But even Jonathan has not really played around much with the protocol, right? So if our own people are not playing much around with it, then there's clear we're doing something absolutely fucking wrong. Right? So I think like maybe being more cheerful, being more engaging. And I actually had some good reactions about using the word code free on Farcaster, which made me super surprised. But there's a lot of creators around on Farcaster, a lot of people who don't know code. And I think, we really need to rethink our messaging and be less technical, even though that was instilled in us a little bit from the beginning, because Julian tends to be very technical. right? But we are not, right? We're not coders. We're not people who use technical software, or at least not much in my case. And we should make it fun and attractive. And I think that's, for example, something that Jonathan brought up as well. He said, like, oh, look at PoApp, right? Why is PoApp so sexy to people? Because it looks cute and it's easy to use, and that has been their claim from the get-go, even though it's not easy to use, because you actually have to apply for your PoApp to be approved. With Unlock, it's code-free. You don't have to get approval from anyone because it's permissionless, and it actually belongs to you, right? So we have so many advantages, but we fail to repetitively communicate them. And sorry, I'm totally on a rant right now. I will shut up now.
No, it's okay. It's okay, Stella. Yeah, I think we all agree with that. What I have been, what I have experienced, because I have been like evangelizing, let's say, over here about Unlock, and there are people that are not on the Web3 thing, not even on, well, a little bit on crypto, but obviously they still don't know like how to pay gas fees and things like that, because that is like very Web3 native thing. So obviously for them it was a struggle. It was a struggle. So obviously the even though we can say it's a no code, for a non Web3 native, it's still a little bit hard to learn, because obviously they need to first learn like use their Web3 wallets if they have, because some of them they only have Binance or maybe an exchange, a centralized exchange, so that's something else. And then obviously to pay gas fees, and why pay gas fees? And even though they say, yeah, this is really cheap, because you show them like this is how much you would be paying, and it's showing you your wallet and all that, and they say, yeah, this is really cheap, but then they are lost like swapping tokens and having ETH and all that jargon, Web3 native things, that we struggle and we suffer, and we live with it. So for our Web3 natives, that would like, it would be like a no-brainer to adopt Unlock, because they are already familiar with everything. They are already on the space, and they just need to use it. That would be like a really good approach. So for that kind of personas, and again we're coming back to the persona thing, that is good. But for not Web3 native, it's like still a thing. Okay, so yeah, go ahead.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I think generally you're right. Maybe a side piece of information. So can I share my screen? Is that okay?
Yes, please.
Right. Actually, let me first prepare this. But with remember the guys who came in first and second for the hackathon in Rwanda, right? Remember that? And so I've been meeting actually with them, a little bit behind the scenes, kind of, okay, to figure out our own governance dashboard, right? And this has been, I want to say, somewhat of an initiation of also not entirely redesigning the website, because I think if we're spending too much funds on that right now, I think the token holders would just basically kill us. Maybe not that, okay, but doing like simplistic improvements. I will also add them as bounties, okay? So we could maybe give it some thought until next week, how do we imagine the index page of Unlock to look like, right? Because I know this is just, it's not yet finalized, okay? But this is an idea for the governance dashboard, right? And then after you connect your wallet, then you actually see delegations, and you have like all of these different, essentially tabs to go through, right? But I'm wondering, like, maybe we can use this initial process to actually start rebuilding the website in a way where it's like, it just feels like it's more coherent with what we're doing now. And also on the main unlock page, right, it says governance. I want this to actually say community instead. And then, like potentially not even have a pop-up menu, but go directly to the governance dashboard. And this is where you will find all of these links, right? And, this here is not inviting. It's not sexy. It has nothing to do with the brand guidelines that we have now. Instead of, potentially bragging with who has been using us, which we can still do further down, right? Let's generate a real onboarding experience here. Let's make it something that feels intuitive, okay? So if you want to use Unlock, here's what you need. You need to make a wallet, you need to do this, you need to do that, and then go up here, or we can even include a button here. But something that's like very straightforward, like 1, 2, 3 steps, and you're a locksmith. Bam, right? So maybe we can give it some thought until next week, so I can design like a wireframe, and we can put that up on with the other GitHub issues as well, to just do light improvements, something that doesn't cost us an arm and a leg that we anyway do not have, right? But something that is actually more welcoming, because Unlock used to be a venture capital funded company, but that's no more, right? Unlock like labs, it doesn't exist anymore. So it's really just us. So if we as a community want to do it differently, that's actually a really good idea, and we can do differently, right? Doesn't mean we have to ignore that, cool people have been using our stuff. And also, why we're not including the entire showcase link, right, into the index page. Having like a scroll wheel, right, with the most recent ones coming first is actually something good to talk with, maybe also with Gosman, Ceci, to do like little showcase snippets for us from recent users. So be it like Women of Web3, or be it a most recent usage from Pizza DAO, or I think
the PGP event that they are doing.
Exactly. Yeah. These are like short form texts, right? But I still think they would be good to be updated, because we haven't been updating it in like forever, right? The last ones were updated by Chris with a small bounty. So yeah, sorry. I can go on forever. I'm sorry.
No, but yeah, thank you for bringing that up, because and I know that we have discussed earlier, and I know that we have said that it could be like a really a thing that we wouldn't be able to afford at that time, and obviously we still have some constraints, but it's a need right now. It's a need to have an onboarding page to give people like a better user experience from the first time that they land to our page. So yeah, I really agree. Yeah, thank you, Soho, for joining, and yeah, see you in the chat later. Exactly, we need to execute more. Exactly. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I really love that, and would be nice. So that could give us like also a very much aligned vision from the first time that they are landing to our page. So yeah, all in favor with that.
One more thing. Can you put this to like in your mind up for next week's agenda? I will essentially prepare a wireframe, and then we can do this actually live. We can use our hour here if you're okay with it, as a workshop kind of session to really think through how should the index page look like to be actually good for onboarding and for speaking to our current users. Because and Sarah is sharing actively, thank you, MoonDAO, the internet space program. Oh, I look MoonDAO. Okay, join the network. Sarah, can you unmute yourself to tell us why you're sharing this here? What? Oh, okay, got you. Okay. I think she cannot speak. She will be back.
Oh, but okay. I could give her permission, maybe.
But she should have
Okay.
permission to speak, no?
Yeah, she should be able. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I that's a great idea. So then we can have like next call just to talk about the wireframe and yeah, have that on
Yeah,
point. So
exactly. And really think through it together, because if one of us does it alone, there will be too much back and forth to actually put this up, right? And I think we can come up with something really cool, because some of the elements, if you look at the index page, they make sense, right? So, for example, the problem statement, right? It does make sense to have it there, but then maybe it should be an animated video right on the top, right? Where there is now a hero image that just shows the user interface of the protocol, which is not so. Sorry.
yeah,
I
you're
love
like,
you,
okay,
Julian. I love you, Chris. I'm
you know
sorry.
what? You know what? Yeah. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, let's do that. So the next call would be just on the UI design workshop on the
Yeah.
wireframe. Yeah, great. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
I
Sounds
hope you
good.
hear me now, so I
Oh,
don't.
Sarah is back.
Hi.
Yay! Hey.
Thank you for waiting. I'm so sorry. I realized on the phone it's different to give permission than on the laptop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, no. I was just sharing because you know, a part of the work I do as Treasure Corp, and also me personally, I believe to be in part with a community. So I joined DAOs, just to be in community and collaborate. And one of the DAOs that I found a very smooth onboarding process and also how they present information was MoonDAO. That's why I shared the link, and they have a really nice like hand holding in the onboarding, and that's one of the biggest barriers for DAOs, right? So to share pain points that I had forgotten my wallet existed on MetaMask, and then I onboarded it, and then I logged in, and then someone reached out to me over email multiple times, like, "Hey, do you need any help?" And then maybe on the third time, I answered, and it was very helpful that someone was able to do that. And I trusted that it's a person and not a bot. I think that element is still very much real in the space, right? And so I just wanted to point out that I really like uh, what you said before, that you have steps. Even when I came into unlock protocol, like the simplest go to the return button, still you had to tell me like click return, right? It might be pretty obvious, but it was not obvious to me at all. It was like, oh.
Exactly. It to people who don't use commands on Discord, it's not obvious. It really
No.
isn't. I agree.
So yeah, that's why I wanted to share it. And yeah, like I think what's also really important for people joining DAOs, and I've seen, because I've been joining different DAOs, I see there's different type of users who join DAOs. Users who want to get rewards out of buying a token, users who want to be in community, right, and actually collaborate. And so I think if you when you said before, like, what is our index page, if those elements come out, in an action type of button, then and I really like this one page, the referral system. Create, these links for yourself. Create an event. Blah blah blah. Not blah blah blah. I mean in a bad way. I mean in a, like, I can't remember the exact names of the buttons. Sorry, but if you, those are really good action buttons. So it takes the person from the word to the action, and boom, you have the cycle closed for the sale.
I think you're totally right. Absolutely true words. Let me go a little bit more in depth, looking through the Moondao website. I went roughly through their, just even through their, through the different menu buttons. I was like, oh yeah, that would be good to have. That would be good to have, and have it like very structured. So yeah, let me go through this. I think that's good. And you're right on the action buttons as well. And that doesn't just concern, like, for example, like, like, oh, I came here to make an event, so I click the event button, right? But it also concerns, for example, we've been talking about the stupid token for such a long time, right? There should be a clear indicator, like they have on a Moondao page. This is where you get token $up. Right? This is where you can trade it. This is where you should buy it. Like, just be a little,
Like very obvious, exactly. And also, like, the difference between a stake token and the token, I think a lot of people don't know the difference, even when they're in the DAO, right? And that, I think that's important to be like, okay, this is what it means.
Yeah, I think you're right. So let's make this a goal to also add that to the GitHub. This won't be working out obviously this week, but it will work out for next week. I also had two other ideas. One is, and maybe this is a good context to mention, I think one idea is actually not mine, but Manuel Elias, I think, had it before, if I'm not wrong, which is that we should have a little app store included on Unlock. So let's say we have, a showcase. That's cool. Not all of these are actually apps, right? But if we think about, what Blake Hart is doing, if we think about the app that Manuel Elias and me are actually putting together, if you think about what Paul has showed us, right, the website that he's working on, and we also know that Post Architect has been doing some stuff. So I think bringing more attention to what our community is building with these tools in a way that can be experienced and it's not just a text, I think that would be good as well. And that obviously could be one of the sub menus, right? It doesn't have to be blah blah blah, obviously, but I think that would be really good to have. And done.
Yeah, like examples of integration of Unlock to some other projects or some other communities. Yeah.
To inspire, right? Because I mean, it's not just that a lot of people don't know that you can do some stuff beyond events with Unlock, right? Because a lot of people, because of Pizza DAO, a lot of people believe the only thing you can do with Unlock is events, right? Because we don't have something quite as impactful in any of the other areas. So I think it's not just that, but it's also making sure that people understand there's different types of applications you can build with Unlock for your own product, and you don't have to make these smart contracts from scratch. So, inspiration.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, good ideas. Awesome. All right then. Moving on. Okay, so first, before going ahead with the content calendar. So yeah, I have Gosman is uploading this content calendar to Chambers as a contribution. But also wanted to check if, for example, the paragraph articles, would that be really on a weekly basis? What kind of time frame are we thinking to post things on paragraph? What do you suggest on that, Stella?
I think we should aim to have, so one post will always be the summary call, right? So that's already gone. So we have 4 available. This one is already gone. Then I think we should include every month one community spotlight. So this month it will be Blakehart. Next month it should be Andrew or someone else from the community. I don't care, right? But every month there should be a community spotlight. That leaves us with potentially 2 open spaces, right? So what are the content pillars that we think people are actually interested in? Because let's face it, with long form content, people are not super excited to just get spammed with marketing and promotion and be like, use us, you know? You will unsubscribe. That's the hard fact. So people stay only subscribed to long form content if they feel it's either something they could become part of, right, as a fellow DAO member. That's the community spotlights. If they get an easy to essentially the executive summary update, right? Or if there is an actual value for them in this information. So, what can we deliver that's of actual value? How can we phrase these things in a way where it feels like it's an actual value? Could it be a product comparison, for example, right? Could it be a guide? Could it be a manual? Could it be, so we have to really carefully think because I fear if we're just plainly sending marketing, what is going to happen is we're going to have a ton of unsubscribers. So
I
really
think we should
this
like test out.
no testing out because we have already tested it out. No testing
Oh,
out anymore. And I've seen the unsubscriptions, okay? Not fun.
okay, okay. Great. Okay, okay.
Acorn stuff, for example, that was us testing out.
Mm, it didn't work.
No. So marketing doesn't work, right? So we have to really think, how do we deliver value to the people that are like us? Like, what's the stuff that Sissy, Gosman, Bill, Jonathan, and Sarah and me don't unsubscribe from? Because all of us have unsubscribed to marketing emails. Let's be honest here. But what's the
In
stuff
fact,
that's
I haven't subscribed to
yeah,
many.
but what's the stuff that still ends up in our inbox? And even though we might not have read it for many times, we still keep being subscribed to it. It's the stuff where we feel there is additional value for us in it. So, what could these things be?
What I have found is things that have personal collections, like for example, doing just a really short article of what you have been working on, or why did you join the Web3 space, or just experiences, things like that. For me, it was like that. For
That,
because
that's already
it
the
gives me like
spotlight.
ideas, because it gives me ideas of what could be, what I can do, and then okay, let's move on.
But
Things
that's
like that.
already the
That's
spotlight.
me.
I
I
know, but
wouldn't I wouldn't
that's
say
already
anything else.
something we have. We have that already covered, right? So, what are the other two things we can deliver? What goes beyond that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Sarah, we are not 16Z crypto, right? Like, what's the reason that people actually did subscribe to us is the question. And that happened way before us.
Yeah, that's true, Will. Mm-hmm.
Gosman, what do you mean with kinda interactive? Very, very much undefinable for me.
Articles that are just fun on its own, like fun experiences, memes. What kind of? I'm not. I'm really not sure if memes could work. I mean, people love memes, but not sure if in a subscriptions would work.
I mean, no matter who you talk to, with people who are like really good at content creation, right? Everyone keeps saying right now the same thing. They're saying social media is oversaturated, people's brain space has become limited, so they filter by what carries true value for them, which makes sense. I'm no different. I've unsubscribed to a horrible amount of newsletters in the last 3 months alone, right? Because I just can't digest it anymore. So I think we should really give it some thought, like what could other locksmiths benefit from? Like what are value resources for them? Like just as an example, okay? With Alana, I wrote this article on Farcaster. I wrote this article on Farcaster. I really made it something that works as almost like a guide, right? And it got a ton of views and it got a ton of likes and it got us a ton of subscriptions. So I'm not saying this is the way to go because we're not an educational project, right? But we need to find something that actually is of value for people, but still communicates what we want to communicate. And I think it's actually not easy at all.
Mm-hmm. But we would need to, like, if it would be like a guide or a tutorial, it would need to be like breaking down so very, very in a light mode. Kind of. For example, the last article that Gossman has written, it was kind of that, like explaining why UDT2 up and why the DAO now is on base and how you can join the DAO, for example. I find it like it's helpful, it's interactive, it's inspirational. Why to join a DAO?
It seems Will and I joined this community around the same time because my NFT also just told me it got expired. So I mean, we could make an article about this, which would be fun. Like if you write it in a fun way about, just got the email that told me that my lifetime with Unlock expired. And then, actually explaining what that means and that, our NFTs are, the contracts can be time limited, right? Time sensitive and stuff like this. Would be cool.
Mhm. Yeah, that would be nice. We can focus on stories about our users and issues they encounter. Yes, maybe also from communities that are part of DAO, like for example, Will, issues that he has encountered and how he has solved them. Uh, Also, just by using Unlock, or maybe requesting support to Unlock DAO and the community. So that could be
Mhm.
nice.
Yeah.
Hmm. Um, sure. Okay, I don't have my. Okay, okay. Topics to consider. Hmm. Maybe it could be like if we would do something like that, because for example, Will may not be able to write an article about that, but maybe we can give him um, like a really short form,
I don't think
so we can build
I
that
don't think he
content.
has the bandwidth. I don't think Will has the bandwidth as he's writing. So let's not pressure him into doing something that he can't.
No, no,
But
I'm not talking about
maybe Gus.
Will. No, no, no. I am talking in general, like how we can operate that. Because, I mean, that would be like asking all of our members to write an article, and not everyone is like mm, willing or with the bandwidth or like with experience of on writing and articles. So we can write articles, maybe Gossman or any other contributor are about the answers that people give us on a form. You know, I that's what I mean.
But how do you want to structure that form? Like, what bothered you today about unlock? I mean, we already had enough troubles as it is for people to hand in improvements. If you want, I can give you the numbers. I think I have less than 10 submissions to this. Even though there's always something people complain about, but then you ask them to officially complain and suddenly you don't get any answers. So I don't know if another form is really doing the trick, Sissy. Maybe it needs to be more moment driven. Maybe what Sarah said on top is less about us suddenly starting to write about, crypto news, because I think that that's not a fit for us. But maybe it needs to be more moment driven. So if, I don't know. Let's just say Eventbrite goes bankrupt next week and lose their access, right? Maybe we can write a fun article about this. But maybe it needs to be more moment driven than pre-planned. More zeitgeisty. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I like the news outlook because that requires much more work. So I'm not sure because I cannot deliver that. Ceci cannot deliver that. Who's gonna deliver that? Hi, Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, because I'm not like if you want to do a news channel, of course you could do that. But first of all, I feel it drives us a little bit away from what we are. Because we're not a news outlet. We're just not. That has nothing to do with us, right? So if we're not that, then
Mm,
I don't know.
but because one thing that I have when I rejoined the DAO and joined the community, um, I was like trying to find like previous experiences of events or people doing things with unlock, like what is how was their experience, why did they choose to use unlock, or maybe is there a downside of using it, or I don't know, whatever, because I was really new to the whole protocol and to the whole community. So and that's something that I think we are still lacking. Like for example, if we say, yeah, let's spotlight a community member, okay, but why aren't we spotlighting the events that are already happening with unlock? Yeah, we have had like Pizza DAO thing, and on socials we have been like very vocal about it, and I don't know, sharing, for example, some NFTs that Soho has made or that Will has made, but that's something that we are still like not very clear, like who is like using really the protocol. If they are not tagging us, it's like very difficult to find that kind of posts on social media. But maybe that could be the thing that we can really see on a newsletter to also give inspiration. Like, what was that event for?
I got it. The inspiration edit. It's not unlocked news, but it's about inspiring. That's a
Mm-hmm,
good
mm-hmm.
idea, Sissy. Yeah, you got it. One should be just about like what are people building with unlock, and then maybe each month we have like, or at least every second month we could include, like some form of collaboration announcement, or if it's not a collaboration, like highlight a specific event that is being done. I think that could be it. So we have like all four pillars covered, right? We have community spotlight, we have the inspiration edit, we have the event highlight, and then if it's not an event highlight, it is what did we say? No, event highlight. Yeah, event highlight, and then the executive DAO summary, right? Those
Yeah,
four.
exactly. Those four.
Yeah, that sounds like something totally doable. And then maybe the inspiration edit could be built +1. Yay! We're like, yeah, we're finally getting close. And maybe the inspiration edit could be structured already into events, products, art collections, what do I know, whatever, right? Already in different types of categories, so people are like, oh, I
Oh,
thought
you
you
can do
meant
that.
for events. You can use this to
Mhm.
do X, Y, Z. And they're like, yeah, let me build something cool.
Exactly, exactly, exactly. Hmm.
Okay,
Okay, well.
solutions. Thank you.
Mhm. All right, then. Okay. So, final. I think we're on the top of the hour. Maybe I can move this last point to the DAO call. So, just to give you a quick info of what has been requested and if we can start the proposal on the DAO forum. Okay. Yeah, because I don't want to take your time. And yeah, thank you everyone. This has been really helpful. And yeah, let's continue moving. We're moving forward. Okay. Thank you everyone, and see you next week. And see you at the DAO call. John, yes, in general, I believe that people rewards more spontaneous.